spending it in your own business, and most of the time you end up probably saving money by, by buying through doTERRA, then buying through, supporting your own business and supporting, the local little farmer that, grows the vetiver or the lavender, rather than supporting the big corporations. So it's just about getting people to change their mindset about it's not extra money they're spending, it's money that they're already spending, and then, spending it, within their own business instead of supporting, the big companies.
Sure. Okay, well that's cool. That's a great idea. I think firstly is to identify people who haven't ordered for a while or who are not on loyalty rewards, as you said, and then think about whether it's an email campaign or a phone campaign or something, which is worth trying. Annabelle, can I throw it to you and see what you've thought about in that process? I'm just going to unmute you quickly. Your tree's growing a fair bit as well, and
yeah, I think I realised at the beginning of, I don't know, probably at the beginning of the year, that I just couldn't sustain growth with new enrolments without LRP, which obviously is probably build the business 101, but it probably took me a while to really get that. And I'm thinking, because I'm one that's gone down a long way, I'm thinking I'm never going to get to 2,000. I'm going to be down to, 100 people if I don't start getting people on LRP. So I think I'm more comfortable with it. I'm talking about it a little bit more in the classes. So I am seeing slowly an increased intake in LRP. And I mean, one of my practical questions is people talk about, I've got 33% or 25 or 80%. I don't know. Is there a quick way to work that out? I'd say I'm certainly not. Yeah.
On sort of retention
of my tree, I've got, like, I think, is it PJ and Era said they've something got 90% or so, really high percent of their team on LRP. So I don't know if there's an easy way to work that out. But mine would be probably 25% at the most. But it's gradually improving. But I have done, so to answer your question, I think I'm more aware of it. I'm talking about it more. I'm more comfortable with it. And I'm telling people that, it's okay. You don't have to do a big order each month, kind of. And I'm trying to say now, if you can maintain 50 PV a month, that's the best case scenario. But if a month you need to drop back, that's fine. And you can cancel. So sort of giving people all those options.
Yeah.
But try not to cancel. Like I had my sister this month ring me and she said, I've been trying to cancel and I can't cancel it. I don't want anything this month. And I said, well, you don't want to lose your points, just order toothpaste. Yeah. And she's like, oh, yeah, I've got 200 points. And she said, oh, do they do skincare? And I said, yeah, they do great skincare. So she bought the Barrage skincare with her points and then bought the toothpaste. So her LRP for the month is 5 points, which obviously
Sure.
is fabulous. But she had that option. She's trying a new product and she's keeping her thing going. So that is good.
Yeah.
I have been offering some incentives, like prizes, I guess go into a draw to win things. And so this month I'm probably getting the best response. And what I'm offering is a diffuser and oil to the value of 30 PV. That's the prize. And in order to enter, you have to place, I think I've got to try to remember, Sasha and Leonie might tell me, 100 PV. 100 PV gets you one entry. Ordering it on a LRP gets you a second entry.
Okay.
Ordering 200 PRV gives you a third entry. So you kind of, it's not excluding those that aren't buying on LRP, but they're getting an extra entry. Yeah. And I've certainly seen, I think there's the most response in this, probably too because of the Salubel, so I was obviously trying to push that. But I've certainly seemed to have a lot more people, oh yeah, I've done that and I've posted that and, I think I've got 2 entries into this and I seem to be getting a bit more.
Yeah, yep.
So just over time. But I don't want to have to offer something every month, but.
Sure, yep. Yeah. So I think probably two things there. Firstly, you're more comfortable in the upfront conversation with a new person around the benefits of LRP and I think, or loyalty rewards. And I think we all get better at that. The more we teach and the more we share and the more we understand the benefits, because we get over that sales angle of I'm trying to sell someone to buy every month and I feel bad about that, instead of it's the best way to save, and why wouldn't you get your shipping for free and get your shipping back in points? And if I give you an example of that, if you get your shipping back, you can buy yourself a lemon, in points after 2 months or whatever, and find some practical stories that you can share around how best they can do that. And I think the better and more comfortable we become with that in the initial class and conversation, then it's a lot easier, and you can kind of have that conversation either at the end of the class when they enroll and they potentially activate as they enroll, or at least you're having that conversation in a membership overview conversation or in a wellness consult conversation, depending on what you want to call it. And at least you're doing that. And I think that's the challenge, is if you go too long and you've enrolled 15, 20 people and none of them are on LRP, then the challenge is how do you address that? And that's where, Minion, your example of an email campaign or some form of active contact is how you can do it. Sasha, I'm going to pick on you for a minute. Have you thought about this in any chance, or have you been on the receiving end of that, having signed up? And, did you go on LRP straight away yourself? I'll just unmute you quickly. There you go. You're unmuted.
That's okay. Yeah, no, Annabelle explained it really well, very clearly from the beginning to me. So I went on it straight away with, and I was a little bit scared. I thought, oh gosh, 100 PV, absolutely, I'll have to stick with that. But I think I've kind of been on a similar journey, learning a little bit about it myself. And I find when I'm helping people with their wish list and their health benefit, their top 3 health challenges, I think that's where I can gently have a conversation about, okay, what's on your wish list? What do you think? How about you save that for next month? Or but what I'm finding I'm probably not doing well is I'm doing this at the end of the class, and people are really chatting and it's a good vibe and I feel I'm perhaps rushing it a little bit and they're not quite hearing me. And then I'm finding it hard to follow up with them. So I've got to perhaps fine tune my classes a little bit, make them perhaps a little bit shorter so I can have more time to discuss their wellness, their health issues. And I find people really want to talk about that and have me one-to-one. So I'll have to get a little bit better about that, because I feel LRP's tacked on the end there and I need to just gently explain it clearly to them.
Sure.
Because I feel they've got too much in their brains.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll get better.
No, that's great. Thank you for that feedback. And I think you're quite right, because sometimes we get so enthusiastic about the class that we just kind of suddenly you turn over the sheet and you see the bottom, all the LRP stuff, and you think, oh my God, I forgot about all of that. I've got to do a quick 2-minute overview of how you can go from 10 to 15 to 30, and it's gone sort of straight over the top of their heads. Leonie, I'm going to come to you. You've commented there already that there's potentially that perception of hard sell, I suppose, that we've got to get around and feel comfortable with that. What are your thoughts around enrolling people in loyalty rewards at a class, or is it better to do it around a wellness consult type conversation? How did you end up getting on loyalty rewards?
I'm just rabbit. So I just I'm in, I want it, and have spent seriously a lot of money on it. But look, for me, it just resonates hugely with me. So I wasn't a hard sell, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think I've only done myself one class so far, and one person I think really got it. The other person was a lot more cautious, and I think she's going to have to prove it to herself. She was the one who actually did a lot of research on it before she came, but she's still a little bit, you know, I'll call you, don't call me kind of thing. So I think it's just a matter of subtly keeping in touch with her and following up that way. But, you know, I'm kind of being a sponge at the moment and taking it all in.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I also sell Thermomixes, and for me the hard bit is the trying to enroll people in Thermomix and trying to inspire people to move beyond the actual initial purchase. And it's translatable to me. It's you get the original thing, but it's the ongoing relationship that you then try to build, and trying not to make it seem like, oh, she's just after more money. You know, it's trying to get that to where, and I think doTERRA is a lot easier than Thermomix, because it's all about your health and it smells good. And you know, like most women like that, men like it. So it's not a hard sell in the product. It's just trying to get, I think, people across the fact that this is all about you, not about me earning money out of it.
Sure.
And that I think is that's the distinction, I think.
Yep. And I think that's a really good point, that if you can get in front of them in a wellness consult membership overview conversation, which is all about them, and to Sasha's point, you start talking about their wellness concerns, their family concerns, if they have any, then it becomes about solving their issues and doing it on a regular basis. And if you can do that in that first 10 to 20 days, and they buy into the idea of this wellness and natural health, then absolutely right. I agree with you. It is a lot easier at that point. So cool. Thank you, Leonie. That's awesome. I'm going to pick on Danielle. I know you've got a youngster sitting there, and if it's too hard, just give me a timeout. But have you thought about people that you've got, Danielle, that might be in your tree that you want to go back to, or have you got people there who are not on LRP that you have thought about or done anything to try and sort of reactivate them at all?
We've sort of tried a couple of draws, incentives. That hasn't really worked with the people who aren't already on LRP. But I have been thinking, because there's a few people coming up for renewal as well. So I've been thinking of putting something in with that when I let them know that they're up for renewal soon. Just not quite sure how to approach it yet.
Sure. Okay.
But I have not scared of it in classes, and I'm having better results and getting new people straight on it. So.
Oh, great. So can you share with the rest of the crew maybe what you're doing differently around that from a class perspective when you say people are buying into the idea at a class level already?
I've actually been sort of approaching it like Vanessa does in that class video that she's got. So I do mention it briefly, very briefly at the start when I talk about the whole bit at the end, and with the making the wish list and things like that. But then I refer back to that at the end, where I'm talking about the kits, and then anything else on your wish list we can work into like a monthly order or something like that. Or for those of you who love all the products, the great thing is that you can actually order monthly and get your shipping points and product. You accumulate your like a little nest of product credits, and as well as the free product of the month. So it's been a few weeks since I've done a class. So I can't remember exactly how I say it.
That's cool. That's great. And if anyone, obviously, if the video that Danielle's talking about there's a YouTube video of Vanessa where she does her whole zhuzhing with the oil lathering, and it's a really good video. Actually, we've got it on our website, and it's on the coaching program as well. I think that's where it's come up again in the last few days. So if you want to watch that again and just get a good idea from that sort of class level, that's really cool. That's great. I was going to pick on Lou as well. I saw her there as well. I was going to ask her what she might have done if she's around, Minion will pick on her. We've got to have a look at ours as well. And I think one of the things we were thinking, which kind of came up in conversation up in Gympie as well, is, and it linked to what I started talking about a little bit earlier, where you may have a deep leg and you think about, how do I come back up, and how do I talk to some of those people that have enrolled previously who may be not on LRP? So one of the ideas we've got is to basically recontact every single one of those people that we might have enrolled and ask them personally whether they would be open to sharing and hosting a class, even if they're not on LRP, but basically revisit that idea, and doing that, seeing whether we can, through their experience of using the oils, kind of tap into what they may have experienced and whether they are now in a position or are interested, seeing as we now are a lot more confident as well in having the conversation, would they now be interested in inviting some friends around to their house? Because then it opens the conversation again of, well, if we do enroll anyone, then you need to be on loyalty rewards because we want you to earn the compensation. And it opens that conversation again, I suppose, of this is the benefit. You can do the 50, but if we get you on 100 for this month, then at least any fast start you're going to earn, and let's see if we can kind of reactivate that idea. And that came up in a video that I watched earlier today of Paul Ovens actually sharing a class where what they did when they got to Presidential Diamond was they went back and revisited, and basically instead of looking for people who wanted to be outright builders, they were looking for people who were happy to be active sharers, as a kind of slight difference in definition, where the sharer, and in talking to some of the people in the Gympie area as well, they're happy to be sharers, and it's kind of that organic, I'm going to grow my business organically by just handing out samples. So if you've got a tree, maybe you can leverage off that by going back to some of those people who are sharers and give out samples and see if you can activate them as more active sharers, and then talk about the loyalty rewards program with them as well, I suppose. So I think that's something we might try and play around with ourselves and see how we go there. Has anyone got any thoughts? Just ask you, Minion, if you've got people in your tree that would fall into that sort of, I'm an active sharer, I just kind of dish out samples every now and again, I don't see myself as a builder, perhaps?
I don't. Got people, as in like, I don't know if they actually give out samples. Got people that work, because I ran another little incentive for people to host a workshop, and I had one person take it up, and then I've got another 2 people, but I'm going to book them in for August. I'm just too busy the next few weekends. I've just got some personal stuff on.
Yep.
But, you know, they're not, I suppose they're open to sharing, as in like hosting a class, but I don't think they're ones for actually handing out samples.
Okay.
But they've got friends that have obviously, that they've talked to about their oils that are interested in them.
Yeah.
I don't really have that many people that I know of, apart from my actual builders that give out samples.
Right.
But yeah, the ones that are sharing, they're certainly open to hosting a class, and you know, I'll come and run a class for them, for their friends that are interested.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I think we're going to sort of try and identify some of those people that may be more open to that idea of sharing. And Danielle, can I just ask you, because you went out on Facebook, you might just share with everyone what you've done if they haven't seen it. Sort of coming back after your little one's born now, you're looking to host more classes. Just share with everyone what you've done, and have you got response from people who are not necessarily builders but are now interested in sharing in that process?
Yeah, so I've got a few people who are wanting to build doing their launch classes. I've got some totally new people who I don't even know. They just have followed my page, or they've actually seen, because I did a sponsored post as well. They've either seen it from there or my page. And then I've got a few friends who, even though I've been using the oils for 2 years, have only just shown interest in actually hosting a class in the oils now. So that's 2 people of my friends have done that.
So just for those who might not have seen Danielle's post, can you just quickly tell everyone what you posted? What did you say?
I basically just said wanted hosts or something, and then I had a few dates there. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah, so
friends and family, basically.
Yeah, so from what I saw, post out on Facebook, I'm getting back into it. I've been tied up with a newborn, looking for friends and family and people who know me to host a class. These are dates I've got available. If you're interested in getting some people together and letting me come and have a class with you. How many of you got booked in now, Danielle?
Good question. I think 6 or 7.
Classes. Yep.
Yeah.
That's great.
Also, a couple more classes because the builders have got 2 classes booked. But yeah, so 6 or 7 people.
Okay, awesome. Very cool.
Nothing.
So there's opportunity there, possibly, thanks, Danielle, for reaching out to some of those people who may not be on loyalty rewards, but that or that you've signed up earlier, and to Minion's comment, who maybe haven't ordered for 3 or 4 months, that you could possibly approach in that way to have a look at whether they are able to host any further classes, or and see where that goes. So it'd be interesting to kind of get feedback over the coming weeks, I suppose, to see if anyone tries anything. And please, if you do get any response out of that, it'd be great if you share on a Facebook group how that goes. If you've got any ideas around following up with people who are not on loyalty rewards. If you find something that works or any examples, it'd be really cool to share with folks, I think, if they've got any ideas. Lou, I see you're hiding in half a screen. Have you kind of... Good to see you.
Yeah, I was thinking, I haven't caught what everyone said, but something that I do to get people on LRP, if they're local, is I actually invite them all over to my house, and I just get it up on my TV, and I just show them how to do it. And then I just show them how to get to doTERRA.com, and I just show them LRP. And 9 out of 10 times they all go on LRP.
Wow, great. So just
show them over in my lounge room, and I just show them how to do it.
Okay, so show them how you place an order yourself, basically?
Yeah, I just show them around the system. I say, just come over and I'll show you around the system, and we'll show everyone how to do their dashboard and everything like that. And then I say, if you're ready for LRP, this is how you do LRP. And so I don't get them here to do their LRP.
Yeah.
I get them here just to show them the system.
Cool.
And then 9 out of 10 times you've caught them at the right time when they're due to do their first order, and they just go, I'm doing it now. So, but that only works if they're local.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. That's great. And I think, Annabelle, have you done a video on? You did do a video on how to set up LRP, didn't you?
Yeah, I've because I ended up within a space of 24 hours having 2 people think they were setting up LRP and processing a standard order, and then I thought, far out, I'm sure that I've already given you a video and instructions, and but yeah, I just did a little video, and that's I shared it in the Healthy Wealthy, I think. So now I can just refer my people to it. I've also done the back office tour, which does include the LRP, but this one's just how to set up a loyalty rewards order. And I think part of what it was is that it says the language that I'm using is loyalty rewards rather than LRP. And then, but on the web, because that was a tip that I got from PJ and Ura, talk about loyalty rewards, people understand reward and loyalty, and then acronyms kind of all get a bit murky. But when you go into the shop, it says set up a LRP template, and so these 2 kind of weren't quite sure, and it sounded a bit too official, and so after that sort of mistake, twice within 24 hours. All right, I'm going to do a little video.
They've got a video now. Go directly to step number 1.
Just go to video. Yeah, but I have done, probably need to do it more regularly, but I've done at least one, a session a bit like what Lou was just saying, and I've just called it, now I've got my oils, now what? And again, in the lounge room, I did a little PowerPoint. I showed how to do the back office tour, how to navigate that, how to set up the loyalty rewards. We talked more about loyalty rewards. We talked about how people are using their oils. So, yeah, I am mindful that I probably should run that class every kind of couple of months, probably every 2 months or so. Yeah.
Cool. All right, thank you. Does anyone want to add anything else on loyalty rewards? Otherwise, I want to ask people about what they think about. Yeah, Lou.
Wellness consults.
Yes.
That's a good place to do your loyalty reward.
Definitely.
Send them the video before they come and see you to do the wellness consult, and that's that one-on-one time to really do it. And I also look at, if they're going to get the kit, when they first enroll and they're getting a kit and they're getting a Claricalm, you just say, well, why don't you get the Claricalm next time? Get the kit now and get your Claricalm on your first LRP, and then we'll set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of getting it all in at one time.
I think I agree with you. I think we've got a great opportunity now in July and August, obviously with that LLV special as well. So at least you having that conversation with them around if they want to try the supplements, kind of challenge them to try them for 2 or 3 months. So at least put their LRP in place so that they get the free LLV in August when their LRP comes. Or if it's not under the special, at least set up the LRP and order the Lifelong Vitality for next month so that they're getting their 60 points in next month's order when their Lifelong Vitality comes as well, and do that as part of the wellness consult, which is great. So, Lou, quickly, just ask you, when we started the conversation, it was whether if you've got a whole heap of people perhaps that are not on loyalty rewards, have you got any thoughts around how you go back to those people if they signed up a while ago?
Yeah, we sort of do a real big campaign on our Facebook, and Mignon's probably already said it. We do a big campaign on our Facebook, and we all get together, all the members, and we sort of rally around all LRP while we're on it. And that's what Mignon's probably said before. And then, yeah, you can contact them via email, but that doesn't really work that well. It has to be face-to-face. It has to be people getting excited about that free box of oils that comes.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Great, thank you. That's awesome. I thought it'd be also a good idea. I know that BOGO has been America and Europe, but we're surely going to get another BOGO coming Australia way at some point in time. I just wanted to perhaps throw it out there as to how people have maybe used BOGO in the past, or how they've used it even this week to kind of get the most out of it, I suppose. Do you get a group of people together, or what have you done, or what do you think around it? And is it working for you? We've still got 2 or 3 days, I suppose, of the American one as well. Annabelle, have you done anything with your guys in your team around BOGO with the American one at the moment? Oh, sorry, hang on. There we go. There you are.
Sorry. I've shared it within my group, and I have explained how to access it. To be honest, I haven't had the energy to kind of try to coordinate bulk buys or teams to do it in groups of 5 and share shipping and things like that. That was just doing my head in. I've seen that happen in a few other groups. So I've just put it out there, and if people want to do it, they can do it. I have had someone in my group just tonight share and say, oh, is there anyone else that wants this one? The passion and that we could shipping. And so I don't know yet if anyone's going to take that up. But so I've been sharing it and promoting it, but not to the point where I'm kind of trying to push it too much.
Yeah.
It all just seemed, it's a bit too,
And I think it can be difficult if people are not all in the same place either, because then how do you get the oils to them, I suppose. I'll go across to you, Minion and Lou. Have you guys done anything around the American one this week at all?
I'm with Annabelle.
We've shared it. That's about it. I had actually 4 people interested yesterday on the peppermint and past tense.
And past tense, yeah.
Oh, you're going to order it. I'm like, I don't need it, but if you guys want to coordinate, one of you's ordered it, and that way you share shipping and nothing. I don't think anything happened. So, yeah, they all said, oh, yes, I'm interested. I had 3 people that were local to me and 1 person that was not, but just down the road. But I just commented, I just said, if you guys want to order, just one person orders and then, you sort it out between you all. But I don't know if anything happened or not. So, I mean, I'm certainly not going to order for everybody all the time. If I don't need it, then, they can do their own orders. I don't want to, there's no point in me. I don't need the volume. Like Lou doesn't, I need them to order in their own legs. So yes. I benefit from the volume. If I order myself, then I don't, only Lou benefits then. Not me.
I actually stay out of those group things and I let them all do it themselves.
Yeah.
And if they need help, I say, if you need to order, I'll order with you guys, but I'm not doing it. Too hard.
Sure. No, that's cool. So it is definitely difficult with the American one, obviously, as well, because there's the pricing side as well, and the postage is a little bit.
The Aussie one comes and it's all on.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, ideally, then you just find groups of 5 people and decide where you want to place that, or if those people, as you say, Minion, can place it in their leg, then at least it's adding volume in some of those legs to get legs to elite or get legs to premier, I suppose, and go out with some of those. But everyone's got to commit to all 5 of them if that's the case. Otherwise, ideally that's what you want. Just 5 people and each of them places an order on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday kind of thing. And then they all meet up on Friday for drinks and share out the other oils when they eventually arrive. And you kind of end up with some decent volume, I suppose, through that process. So that's all good. I'll just check with you, Danielle. Have you done much with the BOGO this week for the American one?
Just sharing every day on my team page. I did send out a text message as well, just letting them know, so the people that aren't on Facebook actually got the message that it's happening. But nothing else with that.
Okay, cool. Sasha, have you ordered any or have you been involved?
Sorry, what was that?
Did you order any of the BOGO buy one, get one frees or not yet? Okay.
No, I haven't really. I'm just going to stick with the Australian market at this point, but we'll more confidence with putting it on my Facebook page.
Great.
But not yet.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. One of the other things I just wanted to ask and try and get some feedback from, and we'll probably wrap up there this evening. We, under the coaching program that we've thrown together, we want to launch a sort of a 6th module as part of that, to give people some guidance around where they've got people in a store or in a massage center or a retail store that have a doTERRA account. And so we want to get kind of success stories of all different types of stores and put up in that module guidelines around what has worked for people. So, for example, in Tessa's situation in a naturopathic clinic, which oils does she use the most? How does she order them? How does she stock them? So that if you come across a naturopath and you want to have that conversation with them, that we've got resources in that coaching program around that. And I thought it'd be good just to throw it out this evening and see, do any of you have currently people who have a doTERRA account in a retail environment, whether it's a naturopathic store or organic shop or something like that? And perhaps let's just quickly just run around and share currently whether anyone's got any ideas on how that works really well. And then what I'm going to do is go out through the Facebook group and ask people to either give us information, or if they're comfortable in sharing, just, how do they order, or have they got flyers or tricks of how that all works. But who has got at the moment people who have a doTERRA account that have a retail store, have a shop? Annabelle, have you got in your tree at the moment?
Oh, I've got one, but who's not. I've got one who is actually the head of my third leg, and she owns a pharmacy, but she's only using it personally. But I'm actually having coffee with her on Wednesday, and so I'm really wanting to, I'm really wanting to talk to her about that, even if not stocking it in a chemist, but she's really in a prime position. She didn't really, that's not her fault, but I need to get her ordering more regular, I just need to have a conversation with her anyway. But I have thought maybe I could suggest even maybe doing a market within, like a market stall, like a setting up and hanging out in the pharmacy for a day or half a day or a few hours over lunchtime or whatever, and just having people smelling things, or I don't know, feeding into some maybe a lunchtime class, or I don't know, but I'm open to talking about that with her. But so far, whenever I've raised anything just by messenger or about would you even consider enrolling someone just as a placement holder for you, or she's been no, not interested, this is only just for my personal use. I think she buys for family and friends for her own account, I think. So I'm not sure how that's not the purpose of really why we're catching up, but I certainly do want to have a doTERRA discussion within our catch up. So I'll let you know next week whether all of a sudden one of the pharmacies is going to have oils, but that's the only person in my team that really could fall into that category.
Okay, cool. Minion, you guys have got a store in your leg, don't you?
Yeah, we've got a couple. We're fortunate enough to have lime tree kids in our leg, actually. But not that they're our enrolment, but they do a lot of volume. But no, I've got a couple of shops myself. I think even in our leg as well. I think I've even got a chemist in there somewhere, I see. So, but yeah, I probably one of the ladies that has got them at the shop. No, she doesn't really do that much now. I think she cracked the poops when I did the pop-up shop at Christmas time for 6 weeks in Glen Innes. She decided she wasn't going to stock the diffusers anymore, and really not really many went off her LRP order. But the problem is that she doesn't use the oils, so how can she sell them if she doesn't use them? Whereas the other lady that's stocking them now is one of my builders. So she just stocks them in there just to get people interested, and if they buy a couple, then she can sort of say, hey, you can, if you want to open your own wholesale account, you can save yourself some money. So it's more just having them there and having some people just want to come in and buy an oil off her, and that's fine. But if they start using them and they're coming in regularly, then she can sort of convert them over to joining. So yeah.
Does she just order a regular sort of LRP order and use that as stock, Minion, or how does she go about that?
She orders for herself. Obviously, orders for herself, and then she orders, what she wants for the shop as well. So she just has it all on the one account.
Yeah.
When she first started, she was just using herself, and then she decided to put it into her shop. So she probably hasn't done that business form that they're supposed to fill out, because it was just personal use when she signed up in October, and then she decided she's got a little shop, and because the other shop really wasn't doing that, then she thought, oh well, I'll take, because it went really well when I was the pop-up shop. I sold a few oils and diffusers, but I did get a few sign-ups as well. Yeah. So and once that was over, then she decided to actually stock some in the shop, because there's one other place in town that has them. One of the day spa places just has a little range at the front. Not that she does much. She doesn't really even know. She's on my page, actually. She's just enrolled online, and her sponsor, her person is just in Brisbane. She doesn't have any contact. She doesn't have any support. So she's now on my page, and she gets information from me. But she didn't really know. She's just using it really for personal use, not really selling. And the only other place is a chemist, which just sells, I don't even know what brand it is, but just ones that a chemist have. So there's really not much in town. So
yeah, right.
and the health food store have, I can't remember the name, a range in there as well, which
Sure.
they're not that fantastic compared to doTERRA, but then I'm a
Yeah.
bit biased.
So some of the stores, I know there's an article on Jessie's website on her blog around some stores starting with a kind of a massive kit potentially, so that they get the 20% LRP kicking in immediately, which obviously gives them a better saving on LRP. But the one that we've just recently worked with, which is a health food store, they actually just bought Home Essentials kit and some extra oils. And rather than set up an LRP to restock and get extra product, and did it that way, just because they didn't want to put the full capital outlay, I suppose. But it also means that they have a decent regular LRP every month, because they're trying to build up their supply from just 10 oils to maybe 20 of the most popular ones. And Claricom's at the top of that list, and Ice Blue and some of those. But we're really keen to build I suppose, a bit of a reference around which are the oils that are the most popular when sold in a retail environment or in a store, so that when you do go to someone, you can say, these are all the different oils, but these are the ones that sell the best, and we'd suggest that you buy 2 or 3 of those in your first order, and then, we'll set up a product champion in the store kind of thing, if it's that size, where you then teach someone how they can order, and they've got a regular kind of a stock list of what works well. And we've got massage clinics, obviously, that use more of the Ice Blue and are ordering the Ice Blue from America in a pump action in that 1 liter one as well. So I suppose as we build that sort of reference of material, we'll hopefully have more ideas of who uses what.
I was going to say, when I did the pop-up shop, I actually found, it was more for, it was just 6 weeks before Christmas, so it was more like gifts, little gifts and all that. But I probably sold 15 or more of those, just a little intro kit, the 3 little oils.
Right. Yep.
Good little seller, because they're in a nice little box, and you just wrap it up, and they've got they're 3 popular oils: lavender, peppermint, and lemon, and they're just 5 ml, so still 85 drops, and whatever I was selling, $35 or $36. So they're not just a bad little set, but I probably found out of everything I sold that was the best seller. I couldn't keep up with them, and back then it was when we could still get express shipping, I think, so it was good. I could get it in a couple of days, where I started to sell a few, but that was probably the most popular little one that I sold, just a good little intro kit with the 3 oils, and Right.
Apparently some express shipping is coming back, so watch this space. It will be back at some point soon as well. Anyone else got any other stores or massage clinics that use it regularly? Lou, have you got massage clinic or anyone in yours in that therapist?
Mine are all really home-based salons.
Okay.
Massage places, yoga places, they're all really home-based.
Yeah, cool.
So they do sell retail there, but it's not big.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So one of the, we've got a wellness advocate who's working with a psychologist, and basically identifying from there opportunities to run classes for clients, basically. And then the other one through the health food store is doing, when someone purchases retail, they also getting clients' information in sort of a lucky dip, lucky draw thing, so that they can then follow up and invite them to classes in the store as well. So those are the sort of ideas that we're trying to come together to help people to, I suppose, be a little bit more proactive, to identify leads or referral opportunities, or more people for your tribe through a retail outlet, which is an interesting one. I just checked, Daniel. I know it's sleepy time over there. Have you got any stores or not in your tree at the moment, huh?
No, I have got one interested, but it just hasn't happened yet. So.
Okay, cool. I know Tanya was talking to some folks as well this week, but I'll get some feedback from her on that one as well. All right, cool. Anything else from anyone? It's 25 past. Any other questions before we... Have you all seen the Get to Know doTERRA dates that are out for Cairns, Mackay, Brisbane for July and August? I was in contact with Spencer Muse, the general manager, or Spencer's sales manager, I think. I think he's doing the roadshow from Cairns down. So keep that in mind if you've got people who you know in the Cairns, Mackay areas as well, that you can extend the invitation to them to go to those doTERRA, Get to Know doTERRA days, because obviously if they do attend that and learn about it, then you can follow up with them and potentially offer them samples or enroll with them or enroll them after those days. So all of the information of those Get to Know days are on the doTERRA Australia website. I think they posted those all in the last couple of days. Leonie, I'm not sure. I didn't see any Sydney dates under that list now. Just keep an eye on the, I think they've just posted the Queensland ones. I know they did through South Australia and that a little while ago, and then there was a Western Australian one, but just keep an eye on that. They seem to be doing them more regularly. So if you do know any people up the sort of Queensland coast, just have a look at those and maybe think about extending an invite to some of those folks as well. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, maybe we just leave it there for tonight. We're all good. Thank you, everyone, for your contribution. Really appreciate it. Mannion and Lou, thanks. You can enjoy your glass of wine. Thanks for making the time to join in. You need to fill it back up again. Thanks very much, guys. Have a lovely evening and a really good weekend, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot. Cheers. See you later.